All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another great Lunch and Learn. I'm Alexa Francis House here with the Purchasing Division. And today we're truly excited to hear from our partners over there in animal care. Today we have Animal Care's Director, Doug Brightwell, here with us to speak about all the great things that they do over there. So a little bit about Doug. Um, he brings more than 20 years of comprehensive leadership experience in the companion animal field to Florida's second largest county's official pet adoption and animal welfare agency. His passion for animal care combined with his commitment to public service has made him a leader in the field. Doug is a member of the board of directors for Florida Animal Protection and Advocacy Association. And before his distinguished career in animal services, he served in two branches of the United States Armed Forces, the Air Force, and the Navy. Thank you for your service, Doug. Doug also has a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration and a Master of Business Administration with a focus on Human Resources Management from Auburn University. So I'm going to go ahead and ask Doug to come on camera, wave at everyone, and I will transition over to him for the remainder of today's presentation. Now, as always, friendly reminder to you guys, if you have any burning questions as he's going over what animal care does, feel free to go ahead and type those in the chat and we will address those as we go along. Thank you, Doug.
Thank you, Alexa. Hello, everybody. Thank y'all for this opportunity. Let me try to get past my technical inhibitions and get my presentation shared. My computer is not always the most user-friendly.
You're good. We can see you.
Okay, excellent. So as everybody knows, animal care is the division of the Resilient Environment Department. Our primary focus is safeguarding public health, public safety, and animal welfare. There we go. We have a number of collaborations throughout the county. We collaborate a great deal with our purchasing department, OPC, various law enforcement agencies throughout the county, besides the sheriff's department and the municipalities as well. All the fire departments, we work with facilities. We do a lot of business with the print shop. We partner with our county libraries for our community partnership clinics where we serve communities with rabies vaccinations, microchipping services twice a month. We partner with Parks and Recreation, ETS, obviously, county attorney, which we talk to them on a regular basis. Also with Fleet and OMB. As you can see, the lifetime tag piece up there at the top, that's thanks to our partnership with OPC getting that development done for us. Some of the services here at Animal Care that we provide this public with assistance with stray animals that they find out in the community. We do lost listings for found pets so that pet that you found, if you're going to foster it while it's waiting for its new owner to come forward, we'll put that information on our website, as well as pictures and as much information as we can share. We do pet adoption. We do community outreach and education through community vaccine clinics, exterior adoption events. We do community education. We speak with homeowners associations. Anything that we can do to educate the public and assist with animals getting back home is our key. We have voucher programs to provide spay and neuter assistance for both community cats. If everybody knows those outdoor cats that kind of live in the neighborhood, we provide assistance with those, as well as spay neuter assistance for owned cats and owned dogs over 45 pounds, because those are the two populations of animals that come into our shelters on a more frequent basis. We also do a lot of animal welfare investigation. We assist law enforcement with cruelty investigations, neglect investigations. We initiate a lot of those and then bring law enforcement in, as well as when they have cases, they bring us into as well. And we also play a big part in the emergency response. We have, as of this year, there'll be 4 pet-friendly shelters throughout the county, which the animal care side of that is staffed with our staff during those hurricane events. Some of our programs, we have our pet licensing program, which every cat and dog that is owned in Broward County is required by our county ordinance to have a valid rabies vaccination and a valid county license. Currently, we are only licensing about 5.5% of the animals who reside in Broward County. So we are going to be working pretty soon with a third-party vendor that was approved by the board yesterday with a lot of work from our purchasing folks. Thank you all very much on that. To get a revamped pet registration program going. So we hope to see significant increases in pet licensing in the next year. We also do pet adoption and pet reunification. Pet adoption is animals that come through our system and they don't get reclaimed by their owners. We try to get them out to rescue or get them put up for adoption with new families. And pet reunification is stray animals that come in. We hold animals with no identification for 3 days and animals with microchips or tags or any type of identification for 5 days so that those owners have that window of opportunity to reclaim their lost pets and get them back home as quickly as possible. We bring through about 8,100 animals on average per year through our system, and it's probably about two-thirds cats, one-third dogs in that mix of animals coming through. We also have a very vast foster network of people in the community, especially kitten season is starting now, and kitten season is spring when all the cats out in the community that are not sterilized yet are starting to have their babies. Those babies come through our system, so we help get those animals ready for adoption by using foster homes because we don't have the ability to house the hundreds and hundreds of kittens that will come through here. Animals have to be at least 8 weeks of age before they can be put up for adoption. So kittens have to stay in the system before up until they're 8 weeks of age. We also have a very active and growing volunteer program. People come and volunteer here for a number of things. Some of them walk dogs. Some of them play with cats. We have administrative volunteers. We have volunteers who like to go and work at our community clinics, assisting us with getting vaccinated animals vaccinated for the public. We have a Broward Buddies program. So if you like dogs, but you cannot own a dog, or there's somebody in the family that's allergic, well, you have the ability to come and check out a dog for the day. Take it to lunch, take it to the park, go have some good quality time. And a lot of our dogs get adopted because people will see them in the community with our volunteers who take them out for Broward Buddies. We also operate our pet care clinic, where you can come in and get preventive vaccines, heartworm tests, microchipping, those kinds of preventive services at an affordable cost. And those appointments are available and you can schedule them through our website. We also are code enforcement. So we have a chapter in county ordinance that is all about animal welfare and requirements for having animals in Pinellas or in Broward County. Sorry about that. So our officers are out in the field 7 days a week, providing enforcement checks, licensing checks, performing animal welfare checks, and investigations on animals that are not being cared for properly. Animals that are not being cared for properly or requirements not being met, we issue civil citations with fines attached for compliance issues, just like building code does. We also have sterilization vouchers, as I mentioned earlier, for owned animals, cats and dogs over 45 pounds, where the owners can come and get their animals sterilized for free. The only thing they'll have to pay for is to get a valid pet registration tag once the sterilization and the vaccinations are complete. We also provide TNR and RTF. TNR is trap, neuter, return. So there are colonies of cats where a caregiver may have 3 or 4 cats that they're caring for. So we provide assistance to get those animals sterilized and ear tipped so that there's no kittens being born. And return to field are those random individual cats that citizens will find and bring in. We will sterilize them, vaccinate them, ear tip them, and then we will take them back to their location of origin so they can continue to live out their life in their neighborhoods, but they're sterilized and they're vaccinated so that they don't have to have kittens in the future. If you see a community cat with the tip of the left ear clipped off and it's squared, that's a visual identification marker that that cat has been sterilized and has been vaccinated for rabies so that the animal is safe in the community. Any questions so far? Alexa, anything?
Not seeing
Clark County
any.
Animal Care, we are an open shelter. We encourage our residents to come in and visit us to see our pets available for adoption, the pets we have available for foster, and the programs and services that we have to assist you. And check out our pets at petadoptions.broward.org. We have a number of partnerships in the community as well. We partner a great deal with the Humane Society of Broward County, which is the other largest shelter in the county. And they actually pull about 10 to 15 animals, mostly dogs, from us every week so that they place them in their adoption program, and that frees up space for us in our building to take in more animals. We work with the Animal Advisory Committee, which those committee members are selected by the Board of County Commissioners. And we meet with them 4 to 5 times a year to help with any issues we have in the community or in the shelter that we can work on collaboratively. We work with the health department. If an animal has been exposed to rabies and has bitten a person, that animal has to be, after an animal has bitten a person, it has to be either quarantined for 10 days or tested for rabies after it's been euthanized. If an animal has to be tested for rabies, that is sent off to the state lab to test, and then they notify us if a case comes back either negative or positive. Luckily, the cases of rabies are pretty low statewide, and in Broward County, it's been quite a while since we've had a positive rabies case, so that's good news. We also have about 50 to 60 nonprofit animal rescue organizations that we work with that help pull animals and foster animals for us. Some of the successes we've accomplished in the last year, we've completed a number of facility improvements, and we've got several more getting ready to start. We're building a new play yard for our animals. We're improving the play yards we already have. We're doing some expansion for our surgery recovery area here in the building as well to try to enable our medical team to have more space for sterilization of dogs. We've developed a really good relationship with our animal advisory committee. I think we work more collaboratively together than we have in the past. We've performed several technology upgrades this year. We've gotten our software upgraded for the first time in about 8 years. We're instituting a new QLIS system so that folks coming in can sign in and take care of not having to sign in and get called. It'll be an automated process. Plus, we have a number of relationships with communities and municipalities. 5 of the municipalities have their own ACOs, but they do not have a shelter. So if those ACOs pick up animals that are not returned and need to be sheltered, they bring them here and we provide that service for them. Any questions so far, Alexa?
Yes, there's one in the chat about the testing you mentioned. They're asking, how long does it take to get the test results?
Once we send it up to the lab, we get the test results within a week. And the quarantine, if the animal's alive and just quarantine, we quarantine it either at a vet's office or at home if it's a dog that's bitten a family member, or here in our shelter. And it's quarantined for 10 days because if an animal has been exposed and is positive for rabies and they bite someone, that animal will develop a significant impairment or sickness or possibly even pass away during that 10-day quarantine, which is why it's required by state statute. So if an animal bites you or and it's quarantined for 10 days and it's relieved, finishes that 10-day quarantine alive and completely healthy, then there's no fear of rabies being involved.
Okay, and there's another question, and I just sent a follow-up to them. They were saying just one location, or are there more? Broward County's shelter.
There's just one location here at 2400 Southwest 42nd Street. We're right by the airport. We have this one location to serve the entire county. We have an old satellite facility up in Pompano Beach that was 2 shelters ago, and it's only got 19 spaces for 19 dogs in it. We use that as an overflow facility if we were to get a large hoarding case or cruelty case and we needed to house those animals for a longer period of time. We would be able to do that at that secondary location and have staff assigned there for a temporary situation. Any other
Okay.
questions?
Not at the moment.
Okay. Some of the initiatives we've got in progress currently is, as I mentioned earlier, our pet registration program. And we got approved yesterday with the Board of County Commissioners for a contract for a third party to take over our pet licensing. And they will be far more efficient as the program grows to make that a successful program. As I said, we're building a new dog play area out in the front, plus renovating our current areas. And we're renovating all 4 of our communal cat housing rooms here in the building. Cats like vertical spaces while they're being housed, so we're putting up a wall-mounted system so they'll have perches and dens and sleeping areas up on the wall several feet high that will give them that vertical space that de-stresses them and helps them be more friendly for adoption. Any questions or anything I didn't cover that anybody might have an interest in?
Okay, so this is a great opportunity for everyone. If you guys have any additional questions, please feel free to type them in the chat, and then as I go along, I'll just read them one by one. So the question I'm looking at is, do you collaborate with the SPCA or other local private providers or other public ones? Example, state, counties, towns, etc.
We actually do. As I said, we have a really good partnership with the Humane Society of Broward County, which is over on Griffin Road near us. We also have 82 private veterinary clinics who are tag resellers for us. So if you patronize one of those clinics and you get your rabies vaccine for your pet, you can go ahead and buy our license tag at the veterinarian at that visit and not have to come in to see us or do it through the mail or online. We also are forming a new partnership with the fire departments around the county, and we are providing microchip scanners to all of the fire departments who want to participate. We've distributed 15 so far, because a lot of times people will find a stray dog and take it. They'll even stop by fire departments. And so the fire department will have the ability to scan for a microchip and then assist the citizen with looking it up if they find one to get the information so they can go ahead and get that dog back to the owner without having to bring it through the shelter system. So we just started distributing those scanners this week, and we're very excited that that will help. And we chose fire departments because we have fire departments bring in stray dogs pretty regularly and drop them off, where folks will take them to the firehouse and just leave them, and then the fire department brings them to us, as well as a lot of police departments who do that as well. So we're trying to partner with them, and the police departments can go by the firehouses and use their scanners.
Okay, so the next question is, with the buddy program, why can't someone go to a dog park?
We ask the buddies not to be taken to dog parks because if a dog has not been to a dog park or is not comfortable with groups of dogs, it may not go well. And we don't want our Broward Buddy volunteers and our Broward Buddy dogs to end up in an unfortunate incident if the dogs get into a fight. And a lot of people take dogs to dog parks that are not necessarily well acclimated for that environment. So we get a good number of bites and incidents reported from public dog parks where dogs get into fights, owners try to break up the fights, and the owners get bitten. So we want to set our Broward buddies and our Broward buddy partners up for success and just avoid a situation with too many variables that could not go in a positive way.
Okay, thank you. The next question is there a law that states dogs must be walked on a leash?
Yes, it is against county ordinance for dogs to be running at large. And at large means off of the owner's property and not under the physical control of the owner. So when you have your dog off property out in the public area, if you're not in an authorized dog park, then your dog should be on a leash for the safety of your dog and the folks around you.
All right, the next question is, Do you know if there are any forthcoming additional or revised state statutes regarding service or emotional support animals?
I am not aware of anything that might be passing currently. One thing, and we just had to clarify this for a citizen this morning. There is a state and federal statute that people who own service dogs cannot be charged special fees or registration fees or any of that kind of stuff. And a lot of people think that applies to county licensing requirements. Service animals do have to be licensed and properly vaccinated, as according to county ordinances, but counties and cities cannot set up separate individual registration programs that would only apply to service dogs. So if all dogs have to be licensed, then all service dogs have to be licensed. But you cannot have an exclusive registration program so that it's just for a service dog.
Okay, the next question is, do you provide dog training services?
We do not. We don't have the staffing for that, but we do know that there are a lot of trainers out in the community, and you can always check with us to see if we have any negative information, if we've ever had any animal welfare complaints on a trainer, or had to open an investigation into one. But that's happens in very rare occurrences, but you can check with us if you're considering a dog trainer and want to make sure there's been no problems from an animal welfare perspective.
All right, and next question is, what are the most needed items or services needed by your division? Example, foster homes, volunteers, or materials?
This time of the year, the two things we need the most are more foster homes for large dogs and for kittens. And also, we always need more volunteers that want to come and be dog walkers or help in the lobby with meet and greets, which is when a citizen comes in and wants to meet a new dog to possibly take them home for adoption. So that the staff can delegate those duties to a volunteer if we have volunteers interested in that.
And is there an application or anything like that for
Yeah,
the volunteer
just
program?
go online and fill out the volunteer application because volunteers have to go through the county screening process just like employees do.
Okay. Next question is, does your department offer a summer volunteer program for kids? If so, could you please share the age requirements?
We actually do. We do allow kids 16 years and older to volunteer, and they do qualify for Bright Future hours with us. These parents have to sign the appropriate authorizations for the kids to come in and volunteer. But we do have a Bright Futures program. And if you want to get more specific information on it from us, we have a volunteer coordinator email, which I will look up and can put in the chat at a later date.
Okay, so that seems to be all the questions that we have. Are there any important information that we need to know on your website? If you want to take a moment and just kind of pop over there.
Okay, bear with me just a moment.
And while he's doing that, if you guys have any additional questions that you would like Animal Care to answer while we have them, feel free to go ahead and type those in the chat.
My laptop's running a little slow. Bear with me, please. The
And
biggest
does-
updates on our website are the updates to our pet licensing program. It just changed as of May 1st. It's no longer structured based on species or sterilization status. As of May 1st, it's strictly based on whether your pet is microchipped or not microchipped. If your pet is microchipped and we have the microchip on file in our system, it's a $25 annual registration fee. If it is a non-microchipped animal, it's a $55 fee, but microchips are very affordable at vet clinics, and we provide them through our pet care clinic and our community clinics as well. So if you go to get licensing information, if you go to our website, let me share that with you. Hopefully this is the right screen. Can you see our website now? Our
Yes,
webpage?
we can.
Okay, perfect. If you go to the pet tags button right here, we have now also in January, we switched to a tags for life numbering program, similar to your auto tags. So now every year when you renew your pet licensing tag, you don't get a new tag with a new number on it. Any tag issued in 2025 will now be a lifetime tag, as it says right here. So the number on the back will be the pet license number your pet keeps for the rest of their life. And you don't have to change that tag and tag number. So we've got a tab here for how to register your pet. And then we've got the tab on what the costs and the fee structure are here. And then you can also see, let's see, one of these tabs will show where the different veterinary clinics are. And if you are going to get a new pet or are going to rehome your pet, there's an owner transfer form here on this tab so that you can update us with who the new owners are, be it you or someone else, for the ownership of your pet. And then this tab is on the information on our pet care clinic and what vaccinations are required.
Okay, and it looks like the last question I see here in the chat is, do you need anything from the purchasing division or anything else from the purchasing division?
No, y'all are great partners. We worked really good, really well with Michael through the RFP process for our tag licensing. And we're starting the process for an RLI for a pet food supplier. And that's been going pretty well also. So I am very appreciative of Connie and Jose and everybody in purchasing who has partnered with us. Y'all have been great.
And one last question, the animals available for foster homes, are they all healthy or do they have any health issues?
We both. We have healthy animals that can go out to foster just because they don't do well in the shelter and they're stressed. We also have the opportunity if people like to do medical fostering. So some of the kittens may be bottle babies where they have to be bottle fed. We have people who enjoy doing that. And sometimes animals will have to have surgeries, like we just had a cat who had to have a leg amputated last week. So we will sometimes have those animals sent out into foster until they recover from that surgery, and then they can come back and go up for adoption.
Okay. Have you thought of doing a collection event with Broward County employees like they do for food?
We do that at some of our events. We have not done a specific food drive for with county employees because all of our donated food, we take that and repurpose it, and people come in to us to get food assistance so that they can keep their pets in their homes, much like a food bank. So we provide that donated food as free food for citizens who need assistance temporarily, so they don't have to surrender their pet if they're unable to feed them at that point in time.
Okay. All right, not seeing any other questions. So want to come back on camera for me and thank you, Doug Brightwell, Director of Animal Care, for being with us here today at another great Lunch and Learn. As I mentioned, today's session will or is being recorded for future viewing. So if you know of anyone else who may be interested in learning about what animal care does and what great information is available, feel free to share this video once it's posted to our YouTube channel. All right, thank you guys for attending today's Lunch and Learn. Take care.